Good evening, YouTube. General Soul back with my latest walkthrough, and this is a walkthrough series that is going to tide us over until we are ready to do Soul Reaver. This is another remaster collection from Gung Ho, and if you remember the last remaster collection we did last year, it was also a game by Game Arts, and that was Grandia collection with Grandia 1 and 2. But this is one of my favorite JRPG series of all time. And in fact, it was the first JRPG series other than Final Fantasy that I actually went out of my way to play and enjoy, and that is the Lunar collection. This contains Lunar, the Silver Star Story Complete, and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. Now, as you can see, we have Classic and Remastered mode. Apparently there was some issue with the voiced scenes for this remaster from what I heard. I don't know exactly. I'm assuming Classic mode would have the original voice actors. And it plays more like how it looks like on the PS1. So not like the upscaled graphics. Lunar Remastered mode, I haven't played the classic mode yet, but remastered mode, we have new voice actors. We even have slight changes to the script on at least voice cutscenes. For the most part, the text dialogue is the same, and if you have ever heard of a company called Working Designs, they were the company that released these games back in the day on the PS1, and Working Designs has... I have a love-hate relationship with Working Design translations because they Americanize it and put a lot of pop culture references that kind of date the games after a while. But we got an opening cutscene coming up, so I'm going to shut up and let you guys enjoy.
They're not in your dreams. Love is the plot carried on wings of hope. Each of our souls intertwine when we do. Instantly we see it, the time to grow and be it, when everything is pinned on a hope.
Now, the last time I played the Silver Star Story, and first thing I noticed is they removed complete from the name of the game, because on the PS1 they were Silver Star Story Complete and Eternal Blue Complete, but they got rid of the complete here. But the last time I played this was whenever I did a walkthrough for this game back on my original channel, and that's now been about close to 10 years. So I had to do a little refresher for me to remember how I used to do this game. We are going to have some voice cutscenes to start off. I will see you in a few.
I don't remember when it started exactly, but the dream of having a fantastic adventure in far-off places grabbed my heart early and has yet to let go. You see, my hero is Dragon Master Dine. Outside my village, there's a monument made in his honor. His adventures were the most fantastic of all, fighting evil, risking death, protecting the goddess Althena. It's all so exciting. One day, I want to have adventures like that. But excitement of that kind is a long way from Berg.
Alex! Oh, Alex! Where are you?
Oh, hey there, Null.
Alex, couldn't you hear me? I've been flying around calling your name for the past half hour looking for you. I should have known I'd find you here.
Where else would I be?
In honor of the great Dragon Master, Dine. I'm aware that Dine was likely the greatest and most well-known member of the Four Heroes, Alex, but I'm honestly amazed you never get tired of coming to stare at his dome monument. Shoot, I just remembered that we need to meet with Lunar to practice singing, and we better hurry because we both know she'll be upset if we're late.
Hey, Alex! I figured you'd be here. Now that the weather's gotten warm enough to melt the ice around the Dragon's Cave, there's no time for us to waste getting started on our big adventure. If we hurry, we can sneak in without waking the dragon. And then, if we're fast enough, maybe we could find a giant diamond from its lair with thousands of silver that'll make us filthy rich and more famous than we could ever dream of.
So the first thing I noticed when I started this is we got new voice actors. And next thing I noticed is on some voice scenes, some of the dialogue was changed a little bit. I'm not really a fan of Null's new voice. I actually grew to like the Null from the original version, the classic version. So I'm not really a fan of this Null. But so far the others I don't mind. Now I usually don't bother talking to NPCs in towns unless I absolutely have to. And one thing to note in this game is characters will have multiple lines of dialogue if you keep talking to them. I'm not going to talk to every character over and over until I go through all their dialogue, because that would make videos hours long at some points. But it's there if you wish. You can also interact with some objects to get some unique dialogue. For the most part, from what I'm remembering, the dialogue that is text is exactly the same as the PS1 remake. And ooh, we got the treasure load! But we need permission to open it first. Of course. But just to show you a couple of things you can interact with. So apparently this is Luna's room, the legendary Luna that we keep hearing about, but we don't know who that is. So I was talking about Working Design's translation. As I said, I have a love-hate relationship because they did a very good job with translating the game. But again, my issue is they dated the game somewhat by putting pop culture references into the game's dialogue. And it's like, yeah, that's nice for like a funny thing to Americanize it a little bit, but after a point, after a few decades or so, someone picks up the game, they may hear one of these pop culture references and they don't get what the fuck you're talking about because they have no idea what this is referencing. So yeah, that kind of... Now I did notice there was one instance so far where a pop culture reference did get changed. So maybe some others got changed too. Maybe for the most part, the translation did get changed at some parts. I know this. Nope, not this one. I'm thinking of something a little bit later. Okay, remember this red chest for later. There is a trophy associated with opening all these red chests. These red chests, just like with Dragon Quest, they're locked and you need a key to be able to open them. So remember this chest for later. We will have to come back to open it. That is new. That is different, I believe. I don't think Null said that in the original. So, like I say, it's been a few years since I played it, but I don't remember every single line of dialogue in this game, but I do remember enough. Yeah, I'm glad that my cat doesn't fly and talk, because she meows constantly anyway, so she would never shut the hell up, would you, Zoe? Right now she's sleeping on a McDonald's bag. Alright, so they keep talking about Luna. Now, if you play this on the Sega CD, this is a very different game from the Sega CD. Very different. Not only is it like more dated graphics because it's a 16-bit game on a CD drive, there are things that were massively changed from the Sega CD version of Silver Star to the PS1 version. Some differences. On the Sega CD version, you can get random encounters on the world map. You only fight monsters in dungeons. Here's one of the pop culture references that made it to this game with the Boom Shakalaka. Bet you a lot of people today don't know what that's from. There was a college basketball announcer. I'm forgetting his first name, but his last name was Vidal, and he used that as a catchphrase whenever like someone did a slam dunk or something like that. So he always said "boom shakalaka" whenever something exciting happened like that in a basketball game. That's where that came from. It was also used a lot in NBA Jam, which came out a few years before this remake came out. Alright, so this is an item shop. They have herbs that heal health, antidotes that heal poison, and cleanse water that cures paralysis. We don't really need anything right now, so we're not going to bother. And, oh, well, I don't know if there's any dragons still in that cave. Ooh, great way to learn magic, huh? And it looks like Null's just going to say the same thing every time we talk to an animal, so not going to worry about it. And, oh, really? So Dine was born in this village, just like Alex. Cool. Okay, that was changed, where he eats his veggies. In the PS1 version, he said he eats his Wheaties, which was another pop culture reference. So that got changed. But the Boom Shakalaka didn't get changed. Well, what are you, Null? Because cats don't fly and talk. Okay. Now remember that statue in the middle of the town for later. It's going to be... You're going to be looking for statues like that in every town, not for a trophy. You may notice that there's no inn in this town. There's not an inn in any town. So if you want to replenish HP and MP, interact with those statues. Come up here, and we are about to meet the legendary Luna, who again has a new voice actress.
Oh, Alex, I should have known you'd be late again. Let me guess, you were whittling away the morning at Dine's monument. Or were you planning more silly adventures with Ramus?
So that is Luna. For the most part, yeah, the script is exactly the same. Minor changes. She did say things a little bit different from the PS1 version. There are some changes from the Sega CD version and this one that, if you're playing the Sega CD, could throw you off. For one, to get to this spring, you don't go to the northeast corner of the town. You actually have to leave town, go around to the back of the town in the world map, and there's the spring. But in this one, you don't ever leave town. Another, and let's see, so there is that. Another difference is that in the original Sega CD version, Alex plays a harp. Now, from what I remember from a making of Lunar Silver Star Story disc that came with the PS1 version, they changed him to an ocarina in the remake because of Ocarina of Time. They figured more people would now know what an ocarina is than a harp, so they changed him to playing an ocarina. Wait, what? Wait, whoa, no, Luna, no, shit, I can't get the bitches if she comes with me, fuck, god damn it, man, I was finally gonna have fun. Fucking women, they never want you to have fun. Yeah, why do men die faster than women? Because we want to get away from you. Anyway, so, and we have to ask our parents for permission to go on the adventure. What kind of JRPG is this? I have to ask my parents for permission to go on an adventure, and I have both my parents alive and at home. And I have a girlfriend slash sister that lives with me that is very bossy, that acts like she's my wife, but she's my sister slash girlfriend. What the fuck? Anyway, talk to your father here. Yeah, can I? I'm going whether you say yes or no. Wait, you're okay with this? And you're giving me a dagger? And you're giving us a sling for Luna. And we now get a flame ring. Alright. And now we have permission to open those chests downstairs, so we're going to go ahead and grab those. We're not really going to use much of anything that we're given here. We're going to mostly sell it to buy better equipment, but we get a Dragonfly Wing, most useless item in the game. Starlight replenishes MP. Angel's Tear, second most useless item in the game. Dragonfly Wing helps you escape a dungeon. And the Angel's Tear revives a knocked out teammate. I will explain why the Angel's Tear is the second most useless item when we get into a battle. Anyway, let's talk to Ramus here. Yeah, she kind of forced herself on me. I don't really want to bring her. I mean, apparently the first woman I've ever seen that wants to see a white anything. Usually they want black, but I don't know. Yeah, now, those items that we were given, we did not automatically equip them, so they're telling us to equip them. I don't want to equip them. I want to sell them and get better stuff. So we are going to have a plan here for what we're going to do. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. This is the one building we haven't been into, and this is our weapon shop. Talk to the shopkeeper. We're going to sell most of the stuff we picked up. So, okay. So, go to Null. We want to sell the dagger. We want to sell the sling. We want to sell the Starlight, the Angel's Tear, and the Dragonfly Wing. And I'm going to sell Alex's clothes. We're going to sell Ramus's dagger. We're going to give that pot lid to Luna. I want to buy a short sword for Alex. We want to also equip it on him. That way we don't have to worry about manually equipping. So I don't want to. We want to give the poison darts, one to Luna, one to Ramus. We want to give the heavy clothes to Alex. I want to get a wooden shield for Alex. The iron armlet, I actually wasted money here. I bought it for Luna, but the pot lid that is on Ramus is actually better. So, and we can't really give the pot lid to Ramus. So I actually wasted money on that iron armlet. Don't do that. I'm considering buying heavy clothes for Luna. And I do end up doing that after I sell some things here. Okay, if you press triangle, you can bring up your save menu. You can save anywhere. Literally anywhere. Now, I'm going to spend a few minutes here fumbling around trying to figure out how to give the flame ring to Alex. They did make some changes from the PlayStation version, PS1 version to the remaster that threw me off on trying to figure out what I'm doing here. First off was giving items to characters, because it used to be with Null you had use item, give item, drop item. So I'm like, where's give item? Where's give item? Where's give item? What you actually want to do is you want to highlight Alex, go to his equipment screen, go to an empty spot on his equipment, and you can grab and equip the flame ring. It took me a few minutes to figure that out. We also want to make sure that we have our characters programmed to commands. You want to highlight null for that, which will take me a minute here. Because if you don't have them highlighted on to obey your commands, they will go into auto battle, which there is a trophy for that, doing one battle in AI mode. We'll do that next video when we actually have some fights, and I'll go over that in more detail. Then we're also going to change our formation, as you will see here in just a minute whenever I'm done here. We want Alex on the front lines, and we want to put Luna and Ramus in the back with their poison darts. So this is different from the original. It used to be on the left side you had the AI mode, and then the defend and command, and I'm trying to like, how do I do command? How do I do command? How do I do command? Took me a minute, but I figured that out. Here's our formation. So like I said, right now we want Luna and Ramus in the back. We want Alex in the front. Let's see. Anything else important that I need to talk about now? It is, like I say, it's going to take me a few minutes to figure out how to give the flame ring to Alex. You may also notice that Null has the clothes from Luna after I bought her the heavy clothes. I do sell those off camera. I leave the shop, and off camera I go back in and sell it. And then oh god, these fucking scammers will not stop calling. And then I go back out, and then I figure out outside how to give Alex the flame ring. So you're gonna see me fumble around with that for a few minutes. But anyway, we're getting close to the end of this video. If you're enjoying the walkthrough so far, drop a like. Feel free to subscribe for more. And I will return next video as we explore the White Dragon Cave. And I finally figure out how to put on the flame ring. I will see you next time.